Well, hello everybody, it's HeapCVA. Welcome to my channel. Glad to see you. I apologize for being a little late to the Into the Flames party. Oh, has it been a long day? Struggling with my computer, and I'm about to go see that guy that built this thing, which is too far away because all I have to do is go look in the mirror. I don't know if I did something or whatever. I've had a couple of Windows updates. We had a power failure that, takes out the computers while they're running. I just had some unusual issues in amongst some issues I've had since I built this computer. My thought process is eventually I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm just trying to band-aid it to make it work right this minute. It's not your fault, it's mine. Let's talk about Into the Flames, because that's why you're here, and that's why I wanted to do this video. I am way late. The major update was September 17th, and today is what? The 19th, if my watch is correct. It's 10 o'clock at night. This is take number 4 of what should have been a simple video. And I'm trying not to lose faith and just not record, because I think I'm going to get pulled away from the computer tomorrow or the next day for a few days to deal with family issues. And so I just wanted to get at least one more video this week with everything going on. And so let's try to knock this out. If you don't see any gameplay, I apologize. There's a major update, a bug fix update, and then a secondary patch note update that have all come out since the 17th. And some of them are big lists. And I thought about thinking and telling you guys, please read them at your leisure. But some of them, deserve a little talking about. And I'm up for that. The gameplay part, that I may have to put that off for another video if I even have time. Like I said, I'm just waiting for the phone to ring. And so I will tell you, it's not something that will end in some serious or sad way. It's just, I'm the only guy in the state that can deal with issues when it comes to the older members of my family. Everybody else has moved out of state. I'm it. My wife is in the same boat. She's got a very small family. She's the only person living in the state. So it's the kind of things as you grow older, you will wind up sort of dealing with, perhaps. And you should start early, because I didn't planning, to say the least. It's kind of like planning for the event that you hope doesn't happen, like cutting your finger, so you buy some Band-Aids. Kind of a thing, but on a bigger scale. Let's talk about Into the Flames. I apologize for taking 4 minutes of your time with that. Let's look at major update list, because it's pretty good size. As you can tell, we're on my Steam page. Excuse me. Whoa. My last video, I'd actually increased the size of this list. It took me 2 hours. I'm not going to expand it this take so that I can get the video done. So, build 2.7 came out on September 17. it did some things. Remember, there was the teaser video that showed you these huge buildings on fire. And I was just going crazy trying to figure out what exactly is that, like a big warehouse or a manufacturing like they have on the East Coast, all of these things. So when these lists come out, I'll be honest with you, I missed the first one. I was so wrapped up in Emerge NYC and trying to get a flashing lights video done, I missed a day. Some other things in my life as things try to open up again, I've got my driver's license is expired early next month. And I like to get ahead of that because things are already messed up as it is. And so we had to do that. I'm taking some classes for some stuff I'm doing. I've just got way too much on my plate. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Let's talk about 2.7. And I'm just going to go down the list because if you don't want to read the list, I've covered the basics. I still recommend that you check out the Steam info on Into the Flames, their page. But I want to go through it too because it's reminding me, because I realized how long it's been since I made a video and how much I had forgotten already. Andy's made some significant changes in how the game plays, period. So, text chat and voice chat. He's added in there. It's raw. It's kind of like the difference between having a 2-year-old and a 20-year-old right this minute. It's going to need some work and stuff like that, but he wanted to provide something for multiplayer. Good job. Layout or laying out. Those of you that aren't in the fire service probably think that's funny. It is funny. What it means is you're putting hose on the ground, which we know as laying hose. I'll probably get busted for saying that one of these days. We'll find out on my YouTube channel. But when we're talking in the fire service about laying out, we're talking about going from the fire hydrant or water source and laying hose to the fire. And he created a little additional part of that menu that he uses on the engine, which I really like. It keeps me from memorizing so many keystrokes. You connect and you lay hose into the fire. That is either he heard it from somebody and I'm trying to remember because I could be getting this game mixed up with others, so that you're not running from the engine to the faraway hydrant. It's the other way around. You can do either. That's awesome. Ground monitors and deck monitors. You will see in the new fire engines that they have a deck gun, as he calls it. I could call it a monitor or a monitor without the word ground in front of it. They're called by every kind of different thing, depending on where you are in the world. They're on the fire apparatus now. You can see them. They do operate. And again, it's operated through that pull-down menu, as I call it. Probably a bad word, but it beats the heck out of finding out which letter to push. I love that. And they work great. No using the arrow keys to move the nozzle. You just move your mouse, and as smooth as anything, the monitor nozzle moves. What a novel concept. The RIT system. Now, those of you that aren't in the fire service, and maybe some of you that are in the fire service, may not know what a RIT system is. The RIT, R-I-T, is Rapid Intervention Team. And it's a very long sentence to talk about a system that was created in the fire service by firefighters, etc., to deal with losing firefighters inside of buildings in extreme circumstances. They're trapped because the fire cut them off. The building has collapsed. They are lost, which is, don't think that's rare. It's not. And there needed to be a system so that everybody doesn't drop what they're doing. Because remember, I started my career when this didn't exist, where they just dropped everything and ran towards the building. The RIT system created order out of chaos to rescue a trapped firefighter. One of the parts of the system is a bag. It's carried on specific vehicles, apparatus, depending on what organization you work for. Where I came from, and it looks like similar to this game, the RIT system bag will be carried on the ladder truck. That's where it was carried where I came from. The bag was big enough that you could sling it over your shoulder, but not much longer than a Halligan. And it was big enough to carry an extra breathing apparatus and the fittings so that you could use your air and share it with another firefighter if they were running out of air. And every department has a few extra things. We had a Halligan, small spreader, manual spreader, and a couple other stuff just to see if we could make 4 guys get 1 guy out. Remember, where I come from, if the RIT system is required, which causes a mayday situation on a fireground scene, and it's not always fires, but it's a lot of the time it's fires. Everything else kind of is in a holding pattern. And where I come from, if you call and you put the RIT into service, that automatically requires another alarm. So if it's a first alarm fire, it automatically becomes a second. Not to get off track, but that's how serious this system is. I'm impressed that he's including it in the game. And it'll be really interesting in multiplayer, because that's really what that's going to work great for. Next one's the ladder pipe. I'm thankful for this because in another game I've spent some time with recently, you cannot use a regular straight stick ladder as a elevated stream. You have to use the ladder truck or the elevating bucket, whatever you want to call it, tower ladder. You have to supply it with water. And to me, right now, in my few minutes of play, is the truck will be laying its own line from the hydrant. But if I understand what he said in one of his 2 videos that are up on YouTube that I strongly recommend you look at, there is blog or his vlog, I can't remember if it's which is which. He talks about this. He may be kind of trying to come up with a system where 2 units can connect to the same hydrant. I get what he's trying to do. I'm curious what's going to happen. I have some other ideas, but I'll take what I can get right for this minute. Okay, next is helmet shields. I'm sorry, I'm kind of rambling on. I really apologize for it. The helmet shields, not a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but if you're playing multiplayer and you're from the United States, so you're used to our type of fire helmet, whether you like them or not is not part of this discussion, is one of the things that the fire service likes in my country is a leather front that identifies where you're from, what rank you are, those kind of things. There's all kinds of different colors. There's a lot of handmade pieces of art that guys wear in their helmets. They were missing in the game. It told you could customize them, but it really wasn't there. Well, they are there. Can you see your own on your character? Not really. But if you're in multiplayer, you can definitely see everybody else's. Great job. Next thing, fire through the roof. Finally, first one to do it. As far as I'm concerned, I don't consider what the game in New York is doing right this minute as fire through the roof. Because your elevated stream is not really putting the fire out. This actually can. Not to mention, it just self-ventilated, which is what we call that. Next is map expansions 1 of 2. He's going to be adding a lot of stuff. And as he got his hands full. He increased the player count in multiplayer to 10. That is a big deal. He put a new fire station into service. He talks about a 5th fire station coming soon. Judging by the size of the city that he's put together so far, I'm thinking some more fire stations are coming for multiplayer. For us single players, it's going to be interesting, but the fire does eventually go out. And then some little tiny things. Fire has now only a 33% chance to break a window instead of the original 100%. When you arrived on scene and all the windows were already out of the entire structure. The CAD menu's been updated. It looks great. I really appreciate what he's done. The doors now play a locked sound, which is a good thing because it's just another clue when you're carrying a tool and you want to get a handline into service. The rotary saw option has been removed from the menu across the board, as near as I can tell yesterday. And so all we have right now is a chainsaw. That's okay. The port fire stairs have been replaced. I didn't experience a problem with that, but obviously somebody did. He greatly optimized networking, and I'm looking at you multiplayer guys that you should be excited about that. Textures have been optimized. Big deal, guys. And it's dropped the size of the game by 3 gigabytes in size. That's really huge as early in development as this game is. And the fact that, as he says, it uses much less memory on your computer than it did before. Amazing. Days last 10 minutes, nights last 5 minutes, and the game always starts during daytime now. I'll bet you money that before this video's over, that will have increased, because I've already pre-read it, and it's probably going to increase again. I would like it to be something that's very flexible and you can set it yourself. A day lasting only 10 minutes, you couldn't get a car fire dealt with in 10 minutes in real life. So anyway, and then the ability to speed up or slow down time has been disabled. And this was in this particular document. He did fix some bugs about engine sounds and issues with that. And hoses going crazy, which I've experienced a couple of times. So that was the first note. That took 19 minutes because there's a lot of stuff in it, plus my whining at the first part. Now, 2.7a is more of a bug fix. And one other thing that he did, he remapped the brake to the default of key S, just like everybody else does in the WASD configuration for gaming. I really appreciate that. He fixed the hazmat truck not being removed when in the first slot. I'm not sure that I've had that happen to me, but I'm a single player. I don't think it can happen to me. Fixed white walls being left behind from trucks. I haven't seen that, but added hydrant wrench to the ladder trucks, which they obviously need now because they'll be laying a hose line. He fixed emergency bounds on Walnut Drive, which I'm not 100% sure where Walnut Drive is. Added missing stairs back to residential houses. That's a good important thing. Fixed rescue equipment menu not exiting. That would be a pain. Fixed rescue remove all, not removing the RIT bag. I said that too fast, but I think you understood me. Fix the RIT bag button not working on the rescue. So there is not only on the ladder truck, but the rescue will have a RIT bag too. Fix some of the controls having the same bindings, which definitely would cause problems. Adjusted some of the default controls. Fixed laying out replication, he's hoping. I'm still seeing that this is a work in progress. He fixed the tanker not laying the line, as the rest of the engines do. He fixed an issue with not being able to remove a second truck from stations. Again, I think that's a multiplayer issue. And fixed an issue with ladder 2 not being able to be removed from the stations if the default piece. Again, I believe this is multiplayer because I, as a single player, haven't experienced it yet. And he talks about the day-night cycle where he fixed the speed up slowdown, added pause time option, which I really appreciate, and the default speed, and I told you, is up to 30 minutes a day, 10 minutes at night. And I believe it's going to get increased still. Like I said, I think whoever's running, especially in a multiplayer, whoever is running that server should have the option to make it almost like real life, as close to what the game will allow you to do. And I'll leave it at that. Let's get up to 2.7b because it just popped out today. Fixed frame rate issues. I didn't notice a problem, but I have a good computer, or at least I had. If you listen to what I said at the first of the video, you're probably laughing at me. I am laughing at myself. Deck guns and monitors take out windows. That is freaking awesome. Awesome. Times 10. That is real life. Ladder pipe has extended range. Appreciate that. Increased range of deck gun will be really helpful. And fix the hydrant wrench on ladder tool menu. So that's where we are right now. Do we have time to play the game right this minute? Not really. I don't think it's fair to give you, 4 minutes of gameplay to end the video? I'm going to surprise you and have a short video that we talked about this, knowing that I'll try to back it up with another video as soon as possible. So with that being said, thank you so much for coming by my channel. Please accept my heartfelt apology for the delays in getting videos up. Most of it is my fault. I have to blame YouTube a little bit. Their system is totally bogged down, and it's really, really killing me. YouTube-wise. Not physically, but YouTube-wise. It's taking a long time to get my videos up. It's really frustrating. Thanks for coming by my channel. If you liked the video, you understood what I was doing, let me comments, ideas, suggestions, questions in the comments below. Love to see them. Love to comment on them. Love to respond to them. You almost always, I guarantee, if nothing else, you're going to get a thumbs up for posting. If you give me a thumbs down, please, if you could, take a second to tell me the why. I just want to make sure I'm not doing something foolish. I do that plenty. Share the video. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Really appreciate it. Be sure to click the bell to the right so that you're always notified when I put up a new video, which wouldn't be a very good thing this week. And I'll try not to be like that again. We're into the weekend. In fact, we're already working through the weekend. It's going to be Sunday tomorrow, and I have nothing to show for 2 days of work. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you got to do what you wanted to do, where you wanted to do it, when you wanted to do it. I'm jealous. That being said, I'm going to put this this one should be pretty quick to render and get it up and get it on board. So at least you know I didn't fall off the fence or get hit by a bus or something and I'm not around. You guys take care of yourself. Be safe. And I know for a fact you and I will talk soon. Take care.